Thank you. And Chairman Patterson, I absolutely agree with you with your last statements about how dangerous I think social media has become. But my issue sort of is, number one, like that we're doing this just in Texas. I think we should be doing this at a national level so we have a consistent rule throughout all states instead of just state by state. But here is, I think, for me as a civil libertarian, the bigger issue. In your bill, adults would need to verify that they are adults, correct?
Well, the social media companies would have to verify that their users are adults.
And those users would be required to give those companies their personal information.
They do that willingly already.
But, I mean, like submit government records, things...
Not necessarily. It's any commercially... I mean, in the bill it's written, so you don't have to... It's not necessarily a photo ID, a government-issued ID. It is, they may use a commercially reasonable method that relies on public or private transactional data to verify the age. So it's... They could require you to upload a photo ID, as many of us have. If we have political ads on Facebook, let's say, we have to upload a photo ID to Facebook to verify who we are, and then they have to send us a letter. But there are other means to verify. I mean,
Absolutely.
there's financial data out there. There's facial recognition software. They know who their users are. I guarantee you that.
And if somebody wants to, let's say for the purposes of political speech, they want to create an anonymous account or a parody account and says, I'm not actually this person. I'm a fake person, or I'm pretending to be this other person as a joke. They would not be able to create those accounts unless they put in their personal information and verified it.
That's correct, but I think, and this is a caveat to that whole thing, yes, the social media company would have to verify that it is an adult creating the account, but nowhere in this bill does it prescribe that you have to use your name on your profile. You could use, there's a host of fake accounts on Twitter, that only talk about what we do in this chamber, and they don't have someone's name. That would not have to change. It would just be that the social media company has to verify that is someone that is 18 years old or older.
What if they choose a cartoon character as their avatar or as their profile?
That's not prescribed. I mean, there's no changes to that in this bill. You don't have to have your picture on your profile. You don't have to have your name on your profile. You could have what I would commonly refer to as a fake account that doesn't have any identifying information on you. It's just that the company would have to know, the Facebook or the X or whoever would have to know that person creating that account is an adult behind the scenes.
And what I'm asking is, if somebody, for their own safety, because they're going to make political statements that may get them in trouble for their day job or whatever, they go out of their way to make sure that there's nothing linking them personally to the account, they would no longer be able to create that account.
Well, the social media company would have to verify that it's someone 18 years or older, and then in this bill, it is prescribed. They have to delete that information once they verify that it's an adult, and so that information is not stored anywhere. The social media company deletes it, and so unless they didn't abide by this, what could be law, there would be no information out there for anyone in the public to find.
But can you imagine a situation where people who see how...
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear.
Members, please take your conversations outside the rail.
Can you imagine a situation where someone who looks out into the world and sees the number of times that Facebook, that Bank of America, whoever else has had data breaches and has information stolen from them, that they say, I'm afraid to even give them that much. And they say, because of this law, and because of these requirements, and because of the fear that I might be exposed, that now they're pulling back their political speech. Can you see that situation?
I can absolutely see that situation. I would sympathize with someone in that situation, but what I would suggest, and I think that this is a true statement, the social media companies know far more information about you than what they could possibly use to verify who you are as a person. They know everything about you. That is, they know where you are, they know your interests, they know where you shop, They know your likes, your dislikes. They know when you're happy and when you're sad. They know more about you. And this is the scariest part, especially for our kids. You know, a kid that goes through a traumatic event at school or a breakup or whatever, that social media company is salivating at that opportunity to get that kid to have that one sad moment so that they spend 3 extra seconds hovered over that image or that video about something sad, so that that algorithm then changes and shifts to give that child the opportunity to see more of that content and more of that content. I laid out the statistics
No,
yesterday.
I absolutely agree with you.
They know more about us
Right.
than we know about ourselves. I don't have any concerns whatsoever about the point that you raised.
No, thank you very much. And I appreciate your
Yes,
discussion
sir.
on this. This is it's an interesting topic.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. Mr. Speaker,
Mr. Wu, for what purpose?
I move to reduce the writing conversations on this bill in third reading and place in the journal for purposes of legislative
Members,
intent.
you heard the motion. Is there objection? The chair hears none, so ordered.